Like, insecurity is something that dwindles your social currency. You can tell when someone does not feel confident. They might look beautiful, they might sound beautiful, but confidence is something you just can't knock. If you were an insecure person growing up thinking that everyone in their moms is prettier than you, high chances you would bring that also to adulthood. The reason why you guys don't really feel pretty is because you always see your prettiness or your beautifulness in comparison to everyone who's with you. So if you're in a room and you're the prettiest according to your standards, that's when the only time you're gonna feel like gas. But put you in a room with a lot of other pretty individuals. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Damaria, and on this channel we just talk. So let's get into today's video. Someone's beauty does not indicate the absence of your own. And this is for the girls, the guys, for everyone. I was at an event not too long ago, and it just prompted me to really think about a few things, how I've seen firsthand people think about their own beauty in regards to other people's. It was an event where we had to show out. Everyone had to wear their finest. Everyone had to, like, you know, just be dressed cute. You can get really thrown off when you see someone who perceivably looks better than you. At this event, I saw that a lot of people only see their beauty in comparison to others, and that's why they don't really feel confident, or they don't really feel beautiful a lot of times, and why it can hinder their own self-confidence. I was seeing the body languages of people and how they would speak about certain things. You know, sometimes it's not what you say, it's what you don't say. And I'm like, wow, like a lot of you guys, the reason why you guys don't really feel pretty is because you always see your prettiness or your beautifulness in comparison to everyone who's with you. So if you're in a room and you're the prettiest according to your standards, that's when the only time you're gonna feel like gassed, or that's the only time you're gonna feel pretty. But put you in a room with a lot of other pretty individuals, and I say pretty because beauty is definitely in the eye of the beholder. It's very subjective. Beauty standards are not the same here as they were anywhere else. I could be a 10 for someone in my country or look like a 0 to someone in a foreign country. I would even say the opposite. I could be a 0 to someone in my country but be a 10 for someone who has never seen my skin color, my type, my hair, my lips. Let me bring it back to that event. There's a few people that I definitely believe, like, societally wise, like in terms of like beauty standards, they got it. Because we're in a hyper-sexualized society and a hyper looks oriented society, it's not hard to see who kind of fits the beauty standard and who doesn't. Anything like, you know, the ingrained fat phobia in our society, so someone being fatter, although face guard is valid, if we're gonna rank them with other people, we'll put them last even though they look beautiful. And someone who maybe is on the thinner side but their face not too symmetrical. And I'm saying these and really operating through the paradigm of the Eurocentric beauty standards, because I don't think beauty resumes to that. But when I was at the event, I was all people like body tea, face tea. And since we're in a place where a lot of people were pretty, like a lot of people were showing out, I was just fixating on two individuals. One individual who was a little bit self-conscious about how their body looked, and one individual who was a little bit self-conscious about how their face looked. The first person who was a little bit self-conscious about how their body looked, the whole time I can see when people were like, you know, were showing out with their bodies, you could see like their body language kind of shift. They were kind of like being reserved. They wouldn't maybe, you know, come into pictures that much, wouldn't really be themselves. Where I remember when I saw them prior to that, they really had a very vibrant personality. They had a very vibrant presence. But when we were in that situation, it seems like they kind of diminished themselves. Meanwhile, when we were all kind of like bummy, they were the life of the party. And I saw another person who was like the same thing, life of the party, and definitely like a beautiful person. But when they started seeing other people who, you know, in general don't really clean up nice, you know, putting on their best, looking good, smelling good, they started doubting themselves. And I saw them because they were asking me like, oh, is this okay? This is good. This is good. For me, the thing is, I know myself. I've studied myself enough to know that there's certain situations that might trigger me. So what I do is I try to think before a situation happens. And I knew that in this situation, I would be with people who I might deem pretty, who I might deem have a more, you know, a body that's more conventionally attractive than mine. Weeks leading before that event, like I was already telling myself like, you got it. You are you. You're pretty. You're funny. You have certain features. Not being too, you know, focused on the aesthetics, but I was doing both because I was like, yes, alhamdulillah, I feel like, you know, there's certain qualities that I have that other people don't have, certain personality traits that I have that other people don't have. So like leading up to this event, I'm like, don't think that someone being prettier or someone looking a certain way will make you feel a certain way about yourself. Know that you are you. You look the way you look. And honestly, I hate operating through the male gaze as a woman, because oftentimes, you know, the male gaze isn't the only gaze there. But just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to use this as an example. Someone might look at you and think you're the most beautiful woman on this earth. And this has nothing to do with the person who's next to you, because this can be so many factors. Like, a person can see your skin and feel like this is the most beautiful shade of brown ever, or see someone's skin, that's the most beautiful shade of black ever. Or this can be informed by, you know, their childhood crush when they grew up. No Oedipus or Electra complex here, but like, you know, they love that skin color because that's what the skin color their deceased mom had, or something like that. There's so many factors that would make you the option for someone. It's not only in the paradigms of like romantic relationships or someone wanting you or something like that. No, but I'm just saying, other people think that because someone's pretty to someone, that means I'm ugly. No, they're a person, they're an individual among many. So the reasons why they are prettier to a certain person is because of reasons unbeknownst to us. It could be because their deceased mom had that same nice South Sudanese complex skin, and I don't know, they want their kids to have that complexion as well. Maybe you have a smile that they love, or maybe like your nose is something they find cute, your eyes is something, you're just your face, and maybe this the way you carry yourself, maybe your funniness, maybe your charisma, maybe they like a person who's reserved, maybe they like a person who's more outgoing. So there's so many things, and there's so much abundance of people in this world that you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't even have yourself on your own side. And I knew that, because I knew that's an event where everyone's going to show up, everyone's going to put their best. So if I feel like I'm ugly, then I lost the whole plot and my whole evening is going to be ruined. One thing I think the most beautiful people are able to see as well is that they're able to see beauty in people. You can see beauty in someone and say, wow, she's a beautiful woman. And if I bring it back to God, you'll be like, wow, the same way God created a beautiful woman like her is the same way I'm beautiful as well. I think there's many battles we can pick in this world, and being the utmost pretty is a battle that is such a useless battle to have. Competing in terms of beauty is something, it's just not one of those battles that you have to get into. And this, I always tie this back to childhood, because y'all don't know that your teenage years, like from 11 to like 17, are your most formative years of your life. If you were an insecure person growing up thinking that everyone in their moms is prettier than you, high chances you would bring that also to adulthood, unless, you know, you do the work to like undo that. I realized like I'm me. I'm me. Like I'm me. And I know it sounds very stupid, but like you're you. You have your own qualities, you have your own face shape, you have your own, so you have like just even like the charisma, the energy you exude that no one can replicate. They can have the recipe, but will never have your sauce. Sometimes other people don't even know that they got the sauce. And I'm not speaking only about like just physically, like just who you are. And I want to end this off by saying I feel like the best jewelry is not a nose ring, it's not earrings, it's your confidence. Your confidence is the best jewelry, because you've seen the prettiest girls not know that. And I genuinely, like, this is such a touchy topic because I don't really think there is such thing as prettiest girls. And if I would say this, I'd even say it to be more politically correct, to say that the prettiest girls according to the beauty standard don't even know that they fit the beauty standard. They don't even feel like they fit the beauty standard enough. I've seen people with my lip size still put fillers on because they feel like it's not as good, big enough as the way they want to be perceived by people. If you're battling with these kind of things, I'm sorry. But yeah, with, you know, body image issues whatsoever. There's some people who are like the society's ideal, like according to the society's beauty standard, they fit. The nose is the perfect width, the lips perfect skin color, perfect eye shape, perfect body, hourglass, everything. And they themselves don't even feel that way about themselves. Whereas you might not fit. You might be a little bit flatter on the behind, you may be a bit flatter in front. You might have maybe thinner lips, but the way the jewelry you wear, the jewelry of confidence you wear about yourself, makes you outshine any person in that room. I'll pick charisma over looks any day. That's why they say a lot of women, like, although men won't give the chance, I don't know, I'm not a man, but you know, we hear a lot that really like they're visual creatures, so they won't even give you a chance if they don't feel like they appeal to you that way. But that's what a lot of women, like, we always see this trope, like, oh my god, this woman, how is she with this guy? Like, doesn't she know how beautiful she is? And I'm speaking about beauty standards, like, I'm not speaking about their beauty in terms of like charisma or whatsoever. But you see that and you don't know what attracts people to each other. It's maybe charisma, like that charisma in the guy is something she could not pass over, or the charisma and the person is something they cannot pass over. So all the situation made me realize sometimes in my life I don't understand, when you have those periods where you're just like, deeply reflecting. And these books, all these self-help books I've had, I just feel like they've served a purpose. And although at that time I was reading them, like, yeah, of course not. Like, do you think just because you wrote in that book you're beautiful, believe it, that I'm gonna believe it? But now I'm seeing that it took me some time, but now I know that you create your own reality in terms of like how you think of yourself, and it shows, it exudes. Sometimes you can see people, like, when you see yourself in the mirror, like, you check all the boxes of what society thinks a pretty woman should be, and they don't know it themselves. And you can see that, the aura points go down because you can see someone who's just so sure about themselves, who knows how to command the room. And that's where I think beauty lies. Beauty is a perfect symbiotic mix between also like taking care of yourself, because I feel like appearance is also social currency. So of course, don't be scruffy, don't be musty, be presentable, and also having the character and the personality to match with it. To be the type of person who knows, like, you're beautiful, you're a beautiful woman, but that has nothing to do with me, because I'm also beautiful in my own way. And I hate when people say, oh, she might be beautiful, but I have that personality. No. Having a beautiful personality is part of beauty. You guys are beautiful in different ways. And like I said, don't ever tie yourself to an ever-changing beauty standard. Did you see that 50 or 100 years ago being the flattest, the most beautiful thing a woman could be, and right now having like an hourglass shape with butts you can't even sit on? I'm really not shitting on anyone. Like, anyone's beauty, anyone's body is how it was meant to be. I'm not even like, I don't even want to talk about plastic surgery or whatever. Like, you do what you want to do. This now, beauty standards have evolved. The slender shape is not what's cool anymore. The shape is a more voluptuous woman, a woman who has more volume in her body. And we don't know, once we're dead and gone in 100 years, what's the shape is going to be. Cutting off your last finger is what's going to be cute. We don't know, and it's ever changing. So don't tie yourself to an ever changing goalpost. Center yourself in your own self and know the person you are. Just look at yourself and be like, wow. And I know it's hard. It takes time. Some days you might feel like, oh, like, I'm not the 10 on 10 on this room. But who says that? Who dictates that? Especially if you're a woman only operating through the male gaze, that's another thing in itself. If you believe that you're beautiful, you are going to be beautiful. And that's why I had a blast at that event. Because I knew that, hey, I'm going to this event. I'm preparing myself for it. I know that, like, I'm not going to be alone there. There's going to be many people there. There are going to be many women, many men there. And sorry, my sister's cooking in the kitchen, so sorry for that. Honestly, I had a blast. Looking back at that event, I'm just looking at it, I just felt beautiful. I exuded that beauty. Like, insecurity is something that dwindles your social currency. You can tell when someone does not feel confident. They might look beautiful, they might sound beautiful, but confidence is something you just can't knock. You just can't create. You just can't fake it. Your personality is something you can't fake. Genuineness and confidence are the best jewelry a woman can ever have. I promise you. So that is the end of my video for today. I thank you guys for stopping by. I definitely subscribe to keep up to date with my content. And I'm so happy that you decided to pass by and made it this far in the video. So take care, stay safe, all the best. Ndimaya.